Welcome and everyone, HogvilleNET YouTube Live. It's Monday night. It's Razorback basketball. It's feast week. And right now, the Arkansas Razorbacks are gobbling up Maryland Eastern Shore. The Hawks are looking like a bunch of turkeys tonight. Okay, I got my corny jokes out of the way. But I want to thank you for joining me. This is the juncture in the game when I'm not at Bud Walton Arena for a home game. I'm coming on and doing some in-game and a little post-game after that. The Razorbacks comfortable right now, 84 to 20. I'm a little bit behind on the live stream. It has gone to a commercial break, but a 64-point lead for Arkansas. This is not a good Maryland Eastern Shore team. We know that 2-6 on the season. It is by far the worst team Arkansas has played, and a team that lost in its last game, I think, to Illinois by 37 points. So Arkansas's 1-0 all time against Maryland Eastern Shore, a 100-40 win, a 60-point win back in 2000, 2001, near the end of the Nolan Richardson era. Joe Johnson, the Hog great, Razorbacks royalty, was on that team. So this is the second time ever meeting Arkansas well on its way to going 2-0. The Hogs led by 45 at halftime, 60-15. A 20-8 nothing run kind of early in the first half blew this open. And several things on Pig Trail Nation yesterday, I was asked toward the end of our segment, what are some of the things I'd be looking for this week? And it was really three things. Can Arkansas get Jonas Adu back and Trevor Brazile back, or at least one or the other? Well, they got Brazile back tonight playing off the bench. Done a couple of good things. This is a game where everybody looks good, though. The other thing was Nelly Davis maybe having a breakout. You start to really come around and see more from him. Against an opponent like this, you're going to say, well, let's not get over our skis here. Let's see it against maybe a better team. But, wide open threes, Arkansas's had plenty of those against some of these mid-major opponents, and guys haven't been knocking them down. Nelly Davis tonight, 4 of 6 from the field for 13 points, all scored in the first half, 3 of 5 from three. And if you go back to the last few games, he's 6 of 15 from three. So, that's really good. That's good three-point shooting. When you look at it in just the last 4 games after starting the season 1 of 9, you'll take that number. That's pretty solid. And then Carter Knox, we've seen him really struggle to shoot the ball, especially the last night out. He's been kind of the last guy to thaw out. I think he's hit 3 or 4 threes tonight, maybe 4 now. But he's got a career high first career game in double figures in college. I think he's up to 17 points. He might be the team leader in scoring. We know it's been Boogie Flan and Adu Thero all season long being consistent scorers for the Razorbacks. And I just glance over to the right, and Nelly Davis, now that Arkansas is playing defense, this won't be live play-by-play. Nelly Davis just hit another 3. Arkansas is up by 67 points, 87-20. Nelly's up to 16 points. The other thing that I mentioned there were 3 things I said I wanted to see on Pig Trail Nation. One of them was, again, Arkansas getting at least one of the 2 between Jonas Adu and Trevor Brazile. They got Brazile. You'd like both back, but in a game like this, if Adu's not ready, keep him on the shelf. We'll see if he's ready for Illinois later in the week. Nelly Davis thawing out. He's done that. This is his breakout game. This is his season high, 16 points. He scored 15, I believe, in the season opener, if I'm not mistaken, against Lipscomb. But again, his three-point shooting the last 4 games collectively has been pretty good. He just hasn't taken a lot of volume of shots. And then the third thing I said was, is Arkansas finally going to start cutting down on the unforced turnovers? And because as good as they've been in the steal department, cashing in with fast break scoring and points off turnovers, they've given the ball back a lot with unforced turnovers. Not as much what the other team's doing, but what Arkansas is not doing right. And again, this is not a good opponent, but a couple of things. One is unforced forced turnovers. Those happen against bad teams too. When you just have a proclivity to kick the ball around, we've seen Arkansas against some teams that aren't that great defensively already this year just throw the ball away, not take good care of it, force too much. And then you can also play down to your competition. Arkansas has been sound with the basketball. The last I checked, right before I came on, Arkansas only had 3 turnovers in this game. Again, this is not a good team, but I just mentioned 2 things that happen with a team consistently that it's been bad for Arkansas, and it's not always about the competition. It's just about, not being locked in and guys not playing a tight game together offensively. So regardless of the level of competition, you could play down to it. Arkansas hasn't done that with the basketball tonight. Again, people are going to laugh at this final score when they see it nationally. But Arkansas, let's a couple of other things that matter here. Yeah, Arkansas is going to move to 2-0 against Maryland Eastern Shore all time. This will be Arkansas's fourth win in a row. And it's the end of the 4-game homestand at Bud Walton Arena, all against mid-major schools. It's the last home game of this month because Illinois on Thursdays in Kansas City, and then Arkansas won't play again until early December the following week. But it'll be a 4-game winning streak, like I said, but it's the first 4-game winning streak at Arkansas in 2 years. The team was so bad last year, 16 and 17. That team never won more than 3 consecutive games. I think that only happened once or twice. I know it happened they opened 3-0 against some really not very good mid-major teams. Then they lost at home to North Carolina Greensboro, a mid-major, before going over to the battle for Atlantis. And we know what happened out there. Arkansas went 1-2, and that Razorback team was off to the races for a bad season. So this will be the first 4-game winning streak in 2 years for Arkansas. It'll also be the largest margin of victory of the season for Razorbacks. They'll move to 5-1, but they haven't won a game by 20 or more points yet. They beat Lipscomb and Troy each by 16. They beat Pacific by 19 after leading by 22 late, won it by 19. They led by 22 in the first half against Little Rock, end up a 12-point win. So this will be the largest margin of victory and the first one that's 20 or more points on the season. So, just some little trivial stuff there. I think the 4 wins in a row, though, even though you expected that to be the case, last year in 4 straight games to open the season at Bud Walton, Arkansas didn't go 4-0. They went 3-1. So that's an improvement. And again, the first 4-game winning streak in 2 years. This game's been over for a while, but it's 89-22 with just under 10 minutes to go. Make that 89-24. 65-point lead. Again, Arkansas defeated Eastern Shore back in 2001 by 60 points, 100-40. So now you're looking to see can Arkansas exceed that? I mean, why not? It's good to see Brazil back. He's had a block shot. Big C's had a block shot. Big Z had 10 first half points. Really good job. He had a nice Adethero fired a pass into him from out high down to Z low, and Z immediately, no hesitation, baseline drop step, easy layup. And that was good to see. This has not really been a scoring night for DJ Wagner. You don't need it, but he just hit a 3. So it's 92-24 as Arkansas is on the defensive end. Again, this one's about to wrap up. Recruiting, let's talk just a little bit recruiting. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on here tonight in a game like this, after a game like this. But Chris Sinak Jr., the 6'11 forward center at Link Academy in Branson, just up the street from Fayetteville, visited Arkansas in late October, cut his list of 12 down to 7. And Arkansas is obviously on it, but he's made that announcement today. In addition to, he'll make his commitment announcement tomorrow, the Tuesday, November 26th at 3:30, I believe, Central Time. And I think Bleacher Report's going to carry it on a live stream. But he's going to make his college announcement between the Hogs, Houston, LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, Tennessee, and Baylor. I think I just said 7 team names. And so now we're just at this point, if you're a Razorback fan, I'm just going to tell you everything I've heard lately. The momentum's been toward teams like Houston, Tennessee. Last visit he took was to LSU. And so I do know that Arkansas was not given up there. The Razorbacks were going to make a final run and push. So we'll just keep our eyes open and see. At this point, I don't expect it to be Arkansas. But it's John Calipari. You did get him on a visit. And so we'll see if Arkansas is able to get that figured out. Now, look, this is the other interesting part. The early signing period was only a week long, and it ended last Wednesday, so the 20th, so just a few days ago. So this commitment announcement, what I don't know is, has he already signed his financial aid agreement? It's been certified by the NCAA, got it done before the deadline was over, and he's just having a public commitment announcement to announce something that he's already done that's been kept under the radar. Those things happen sometimes. So it could be that wherever he's going, he's already done the paperwork. Or it could be that he's literally just committing and figuring it out now, getting the commitment done tomorrow. By the way, guys, Arkansas's back on defense, but since I mentioned DJ Wagner hit his first three, he's hit two more. Arkansas just hit the century mark, 100-26. This is bizarre. I'm not going to say it's not as bad as this team is. I don't think I've seen something like this in a minute. It's 6 minutes to go. I mean, I don't know what Arkansas is going to take from this. I think it's good for guys like Nelly Davis and Carter Knox to see the ball go through, especially shooting from the perimeter, shooting from three, getting more shots and volume up. This team's getting better in some ways when you start looking at taking shots and making shots. And they're doing a better job than just being a transition team, which has really been the strength of the offense. It's been a defensive team. Arkansas came into today ranked 10th in KenPom's defensive efficiency. So even though they're 40th in KenPom, by the way, the AP poll came out. Arkansas went 2-0 last week. The Hogs only went up a spot, one spot that it moved up to 19th. So the 19th ranked Razorbacks in the USA Today coaches poll, top 25. Arkansas moved up 2 spots. They were 24th. I think they're 21st, so maybe they moved up 3 spots. I got that wrong in my tweet earlier because they had dropped to 24th or 21st there. So they moved up 3 spots there. Again, 19th in the Associated Press top 25, 40th in KenPom. But Arkansas has been top 10 in defensive efficiency all year, kind of 8th, 9th. Today they came in 10th. After tonight's performance, they're probably going to move up a little bit. We'll see. This team, Maryland Eastern Shore, was ranked 358th in KenPom's overall rankings. Only 364 teams in Division I, 358th. So you're in the bottom 10 of all of that. Players getting some good practice on on how to dominate. Well, I guess. Again, you're not going to take this score and this result away and tell yourself it proves anything. This is just not a good team. But Arkansas's had some teams that should have won by a bigger margin and put away better. This will be the first game that Arkansas hasn't had a game on its hands, somewhere around the midway point of the second half and sometimes later when we're talking about the mid-major schools. Remember, Baylor's the only high major and ranked team that Arkansas has played to this point. Arkansas at 5-1. Illinois was ranked 25th last week after starting its season 3-0. The Illini lost on the road to Alabama, back out of the poll this weekend or this week when it updated today. But I did notice they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams receiving votes. So, this is a team that potentially could be ranking. Look, speaking of KenPom, the ratings that matter the most are the NCAA net ratings, and those are going to come out. Those release next week. So we'll see where Arkansas is. The Illinois game is going to go maybe a long way toward helping Arkansas or hurting Arkansas. When you look at Arkansas maybe struggling in some of these games against teams that aren't going to be so high in net. But I think the Baylor game obviously is going to be a quad 1 result. That's a loss. That won't hurt your resume too bad. Illinois, we'll see where they are in net come next week. The Illini tonight are playing Little Rock. I haven't had a chance to look over. It started later than this game, and I came on pretty soon after halftime here, so I haven't even had a chance to look over at the early scores. But that's a good Little Rock team. We'll see if Illinois – it's a Little Rock team that'll be playing its 6th and final road game since opening the season way back in early November, nearly a month ago, with a home win. It's a team that's played on the road since, and so it'll be their 6th and final road game. Road weary. They played a game Wednesday and won at Tulsa. Lost Friday at Arkansas, Monday night tonight at Illinois. We'll see if Illinois comes out with a win there. It could be a game where Arkansas and the Illini both only have 1 loss. The Razorbacks ranked, and the Illini not far out of the rankings, but it should very well, since it's a neutral site game, could end up being, a top 50 in net Illinois team. So Arkansas should be. But that'll be a quad 1 result for both teams, win or lose. And so Arkansas would like to add a quad 1 win to that, what will be, again, a quad 1 loss next week once the net rankings come out, that loss being again to Baylor. Cash Chavis is on the court. I'm just now seeing that. I'm looking over to my right. There's still a little over 5 minutes to go. The freshman guard, 150 ranked, 3-star out of Minnesota, I think out of Minneapolis. This is his first action of the season. Cass Chavis, they list him at 6'2" or 6'3", freshman guard. So this is Arkansas's fourth true freshman to play on the season. Again, with 5 minutes to go, it's 100-27. That's a 73-point lead. All right, so we were talking about Christenak again. If he didn't sign early and this is just a ceremonial thing, then obviously even if he commits, he'll be waiting until the spring signing period to officially sign with whomever. This also means, again, if it's not Arkansas, again, I don't see that, but I do know Arkansas wasn't letting go of that recruitment here down to the final stages. So we'll just see. But I do think probably Houston. That's the name I'm hearing the most, the school I'm hearing the most on that. As Maryland Eastern Shore, the Hawks just got to the 30-point mark. It's 100-30. This score looks similar to the one Arkansas had 20 plus years ago. The last time these teams played, and the only other time. Carter Knox tipping it to himself, tip drill. It's a big game for Knox. I think he has a chance to break 20 tonight. Nelly Davis had a nice game. Every Hog that played pretty much had a good game. Knox will have a big rebounding game as well when I look at the final stats. All right, thank you for joining me on HogvilleNET YouTube Live. Nearly 17 minutes in. This game's pretty much over. We're going to find out again tomorrow if Arkansas has a shot at adding Christenak to what's already, a top 10 recruiting class, however you slice it. The best recruited backcourt in the country with 2 top 7 rated 5-stars committed and signed. And Darius Acuff Jr., a lead guard, Malik Thomas, a shooting guard, and then Isaiah Seeley, the 6'7" combo guard out of Springdale. All of those guys committed and signed and got all that done during the early period. And again, I think it's the best recruited backcourt in the country for that class of 2025. All right, we're going to see more players check in for Arkansas that haven't played this season. It looks like Melo Sanchez, Aiden Kelly, and Kareem Watkins are all going to be coming in. Jaden Karaletwa, I noticed was in warm-up, so I don't know if he's hurt or what the story is there, if he's redshirting. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I don't think he's dressed out tonight. And so that's interesting. But he's another true freshman who has been in street clothes. We know Jonas Adu has been in street clothes now for the last 3 games after playing a combined 20 minutes in the first 3. We're going to sit through this till the final score, till the end of it. I think the biggest takeaway tonight in a game like this is that Arkansas didn't play down to the competition in terms of taking care of the basketball, dominated every statistical category. That'll be a first. They haven't dominated second chance points and rebounds and some other things at times. That's a different story after tonight. Again, for what it's worth, Arkansas is up 73 points, 107-34, with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to play. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep it short. We're probably going to go 20 minutes tonight. We're at about 19 right now. I want to thank everybody again. If you haven't done it already, hit subscribe, like, and share. I appreciate those that do tune in. And again, this is Arkansas. It's going to be 5-1 now, 4 straight wins. First 4-game winning streak since the 2022-23 team that ended up going to a Sweet 16. And so as bad as last season was, you've already improved on something that the team last year couldn't do, and that's get a 4-game winning streak. And Arkansas can extend that to 5 against Illinois on Thursday. Turkey Throwdown, 3 o'clock. That's on CBS at T-Mobile Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. It's a big one. And it'll be, again, I think an opportunity for Arkansas to pick up what'll be a quad 1 win when those net rankings come out a week later. And the other alternative is you lose. At least it's a neutral site quad 1 loss. That won't crush your resume, but you want to start winning some of these games against some of these marquee opponents, because after Illinois, you have 2 more marquee type games in December to round out your 13-game non-conference slate. One will be on the road, a true road game at Miami in the ACC SEC Challenge. That'll actually be Arkansas's next game after Illinois. That's on December 3rd, a midweek game. Arkansas comes home and hosts Texas San Antonio on a Saturday, and then back for a neutral site game in New York City, the Jimmy V Classic against Michigan on December 10th. Then Arkansas has 3 more games to finish out December. A Saturday game middle of the month, I think December 14th. Second in-state D1 opponent in UCA in North Little Rock at Simmons Bank Arena. Then Arkansas will host North Carolina A&T, I believe, on December 21st at Bud Walton Arena. And then Oakland on December 30th. That's the stretch of dates. December 30th, it's a home game against Oakland. I think the 29th of the 31st, class of 2026, in-state Little Rock Christian Academy. ESPN ranks him 15th in the country, a 5-star. Jashawn J.J. Andrews, he'll be 6'7" wing at a Little Rock Christian Academy. He'll be on his official visit and be able to attend that Arkansas-Oakland game on the 30th. All right, we're going to sign off for now. As we go away, Arkansas's got everybody that hasn't played this year on the court, plus Carter Knox still in the game, maybe looking for I don't know how many rebounds he has or if he's gotten 20 points yet, but it'd be cool if he got to a 20-10 double-double. For his big breakout game, you could call it. But Arkansas's up 107-34 with about a minute 45 left. Until next time, thanks for being here. We'll see you then.